Hey, what's up team? There might be hope. Looks like the upcoming week for sneaker releases look a little bit better than last. So let's jump straight into this week's upcoming sneaker releases. Well, the ones that I actually care about anyways. Cool. So the first one I have here is the Sacai Nike Cortez. And it is in this quite cool grayscale colorway, they call it. What I really like is the midsole. It has all those additional layers that you'd see in a sacai collaboration. But I also really like that beige hint on the midsole. I think that is a really popular color to use on the midsole these days. It provides a bit of that vintage vibe. So I really like that feature. And of course it has the multiple swooshes on the upper, which is really cool as well. So personally, I really like the sneaker. It is coming out on the 13th of December. So really, really soon. I think that's Tuesday. In New Zealand, it's a lot more difficult to get a sneaker like this. This collaboration, I don't actually think is actually available within the country. Well, even if there are some, it's really low in numbers, so very limited. So I'm not holding my breath. I don't have high hopes to actually get it, but I do like it. And if the opportunity arises, I will try to cop. Cool, moving on to the second release that I think is relatively cool is the Billie Eilish and Nike collaboration for the Air Force 1 Low. I think in the past, most of Billie Eilish's collaborations with Nike had been released in the women's sizing. And it looks like, to my surprise, these Air Force 1s are in the men's sizing, which is quite nice. There are two colors, one in this full beige color, and the other is in a full like dark green, army green almost color. So my thoughts are, I'm not a huge, I like the collaborations, but I'm not a huge fan of this color or these colors. I think they're a little bit boring. There are different shades of the beiges and the greens on the color, and it does have different textures across the whole sneaker, which is quite cool, but I don't see myself wearing the sneaker if I ever buy it. So that's kind of what's putting me off on the sneaker. But an Air Force 1 is a safe silhouette for any collaboration, and if you like it, best of luck to you, and I hope you get a W. Oh, and this sneaker does release on December the 14th. So the Wednesday. Moving on to the third sneaker I want to talk about, and that is the Nike Dunk Low Foam Finger. I know the Dunks have been released a lot this year. If you are tired of the Dunks like I am, I think it's fair enough. This colorway is pretty crazy. It has heaps of colors, mainly green, and then it has a lot of that fruity pebble colorway. I guess it's trying to resemble a foam finger, which is quite bright and outlandish. So personally, it's not a sneaker for me. It's a cool sneaker, but I would never wear it, so I would not buy it. And it does release on December 14th as well for $120. Moving on to December 15th, there is a release for another Nike Dunk, but this one is the collaboration with eBay, and it is the Nike SB Dunk variant. This one is pretty crazy. I don't really have a strong opinion on whether it's a cop or a drop yet. It is quite different though. And apparently it is a re-release from 2003, and the resale value of the sneaker was through the roof. I think at one point it reached $30,000, according to this article. If I were to ever have the opportunity to buy the sneaker or to win a raffle, I would wear it, but I would definitely keep it and potentially flip it if I can fetch $30,000, because why wouldn't you? It just makes all the financial sense here. Moving on to the fourth sneaker that I want to talk about, and it is another Air Force 1 that is due to be released on December the 16th for $190 in the men's color, in the men's sizes. And this is another collaboration with Ambush, and also in two different colorways. One is pine green with like lime green swoosh, and the other one is a game royal blue with like a bright yellow swoosh. Similar to the Billie Eilish Air Force 1s, I don't like the colors used on these two sneakers. It's just too bright for my liking. It's a little bit harder to match with my wardrobe. So a sneaker I won't wear. I don't really feel incentivized to buy unless the resale value of them is super high and it's worth buying it just to flip it for some profit. Cool collaboration. I always love the ambush ones where they have that swoosh kind of stick out at the back of the sneaker as opposed to fully stitched in. Moving on to the last sneaker I do want to briefly touch on, and it is a Nike F Max 1 Master, and they dub it the Magma Orange colorway. I love Air Max 1s, especially the more cleaner, subtle colorways, and again, this one has a really nice midsole featuring that beige vintage color. And like I said before, it's a very popular color, so I think Nike, if they can, they're slapping that color on the midsole as much as they can. And I think it looks really good. The swoosh has this magma effect, almost like a bubbling effect that gives it a point of difference. The colorway is clean. It just pretty much is just orange, a bit of gray it looks like, white, and a bit of beige. So I think this is a relatively easier sneaker to match with my wardrobe. So there you have it. Those are the sneakers I wanted to feature in this week's video. And like I said, there is hope. There is some nicer sneakers coming out as opposed to last week. And I'm curious to know what you are looking forward to the most in this upcoming week's or month's sneaker releases. So drop that down below in the comment section, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.